Hey, this is Daniel. I'm here in my studio with Marisa, and we're shooting some kind of fun pictures today. I wanted to mess around a little bit with the idea of using, well, kind of reflections and how light bounces around and stuff was kind of the basis of this shot. So I wanted to bounce a lot of light off the wall in the background and create kind of flare, and then Marisa came in with this really cool jacket. So we figured we'd go for it, right? So we went and you know, sometimes this happens. We basically, it's gold.
Yeah.
I was like, what's the opposite of gold? Blue, more or less, right? So let's get some blue makeup. We ran out and got it, and Marisa did some cool stuff. And this became kind of a really funky, almost kind of a robot Marisa shot. So there you go. So there's a lot of parts to this. I kind of want to show you how I'm setting it up, and I'm just going to do it from scratch. Basically, we kind of already roughed it out. But essentially, I've got two Profoto lights in the background. They are B1Xs. They are bouncing off the wall. I'm going to currently put them into air mode, air sync, because what I want to do is get my base exposure. I could use my light meter, but I'm just gonna do it this way because it's kind of fun to mess around this way. So basically I'm switching this over to air. They're both on the same channel. I'm not worrying about the lights in the front right now. I'll talk about that in a second. So I'm gonna throw my air mode on. Now, of course, with all that light behind her and being in TTL, we'll see what's going to happen. I am tethered in Capture One. I have the Canon here with the 85 on it. I'm just going to take a shot. This should be theoretically a silhouette, at least on some level. Yep, more or less. But you can see lights pushing back forward. That's because it's overexposing the background because TTL is trying to get it exposed. Also, part of it is that I've got the silver reflector here kicking back the light. I don't want that much of the backlight to come forward on her, so I'm going to switch to manual. I mean, I could do TTL exposure compensation, but since I'm not going to stay in TTL, I'm not going to worry about it. And I'm going to dial this down. I'll say one stop. So I want it to be white back there, but I don't want, and come forward a little bit, but I don't want it to be too crazy. There we go. That's actually too dark. So I'm going to come up and go. There we go. Just wasting all the good poses for this. That looks perfect. All right, so it's a little bit off white. It's not quite white. So when I add the other lights, if it's not white, I might give it a little boost, but that's a good place to start. So my other light is actually this Elinchrom system. I've got the ELB 500. The reason I'm using this, you know, I'm mixing with my Profoto lights, which is, you can totally do it pro brands, is because of the fact that I love this deep octa. So they gave it to me with the ELB system, so I'm going to mix the lights here instead of just using one over the other. The reason why I'm not using all ELB is because I only have two heads with me. So, speaking of two heads, I've got actually both of them going here. I'm going to grab my phone, which is over here, zoop, and I'm going to show you guys what I got going on here. So I've got the Rotolux, which I love, and I've also got over here the small head, which is the liquid reflector on it. So that's basically going to give me a punchy hard light in the center, and then kind of fill with a softer light. And then I have a reflector here, which is the sun bounce. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over to this bad boy. The one in the little hard reflector is B, and the other one is A in this system. So I'm just going to turn only B on to show you guys. This does have TTL capabilities, but I do not have the TTL remote with me, so I'm using it just with manually. Okay, that's not bad. I actually have it turned down all the way. You look a little bit like Vincent Price.
I was thinking like Harrison Ford.
Oh, Harrison Ford. Kind of like Vincent Price, I suppose. Yeah, I can see that. So that's hard light, right? Hard light because we want to bring out that crunchy detail, all this, right? But really, this is very, very hard and not the ideal light, you know, for Marisa, even with the reflector, which is kicking back a little bit of fill, but not a whole heck of a lot. Let me bounce up a little flatter. Show what that looks like. You see, the fill's getting in there, but it's not a lot. But now I'm going to fill it essentially with the big soft light, which is this one. But before I do that, I'm just going to only shoot the big soft light. So I'll turn A back on, turn B off. So this is only A. Again, this is the Rotolux 39-inch.
Oh!
The reflector attacked Marisa. Cool. That's what happens when you don't clip it on there properly. There we go. We got it. Under control. This is where we need Dave.
Do we need another clamp?
Yeah, let me clip it. Wow. I'm sure there'll be a cut there, I suppose. There we go.
Oh.
This is what happens when you don't clip it properly. Okay. Back to this. Cool, that's just a soft light, a little underexposed, which I can now turn it up if I want. I do have that ability here. Turn it up to 3. Keeping in mind that the other light is going to add to it, so. Okay, but that's soft light. Actually, can you not cover your face yet? Good, show what the light looks like. So, there we go. All right, so we can see beautiful soft light, if not underexposed, obviously, but we're not getting, you know, nice and crispy across the skin. Not as much detail. I mean, we definitely still get the reflectance of the glitter, but you know, the hard light I think is going to help shape the face and everything. So let's now combine the two lights. So that's A and B. So my A, for those who like numbers, is set on 3, and the B is set at 0.1. So the B is way turned down. And I'm shooting at f9 at 250. Why f9 at 250? Because that's what I needed to kill all the light in the space. There we go. Now we've got this like glowy light on her face from the softness, but also that punch and shape of the hard light coming in. And you can still see the shadow there, which is totally fine and legit. Okay, so that's all cool, but the background's a bit dark because the Profotos aren't firing because I have them in air mode. So I'm going to switch them to regular slave mode. That means that they will fire. Optical slave means that they will fire whenever they see another flash fire. So I could have obviously put these in. I could have put the Elinchrom in optical slave mode and the Profoto, use the Profoto remote. The reason I didn't do that is because generally you want your key light to always fire. So if you have to mix remotes like this, always put your key light remote on the camera if you can. So now, let's see what this looks like. Do one more evaluative shot. There we go. I think the background's a smidge dark, so I'm just going to grab my Profoto controller. I don't know, it's in manual, so I'm going to take the B channel, and I'm going to turn it up to stop. Actually, I can't do that because I'm not in that mode anymore, so I will walk over like a person from 10 years ago, before there was remotes. Can you imagine people used to have to walk over to the lights and change it? It's like crazy. Actually, we had assistants to do that. So, you know, in a way, the air remote has crushed the assistant job market. And I'm sure that they're probably protesting now that they're not getting the work. Anyways. Bam. Now we've got nice, clean, white background. I could go brighter on the background, but I think I'm good. I'm actually just going to tweak my exposure slightly. I'm going to go to 8f8 just to see what that looks like. Because now I'm balancing everything together. Yeah, this is really nice. You've got like a bit of a brilliance. For some reason, this one seems a little bit less. Okay. So I'm tweaking these out a little bit. Just trying to get everything kind of as even as possible on the background to save myself any frustration later. There we go. So this kind of beautiful, almost airy light across her face. You can see all the glitter. That's all the glitter.
That is all the glitter.
And beautiful, smooth skin, but with texture because we've got the hard light, soft light combined. And of course, this jacket has this great like glow to it, and we can see, you know, all the different sparkles. So let's get weird and let's shoot some. Well, you don't have to ask Marisa to get weird because she's already there. It's good. Nice. Hold. Choose my focus spot here. Might notice that I'm usually
robot.
Yeah, she's a robot. Robots don't laugh. Oh, you may notice, by the way, that Marisa's jacket's backwards. That's because it's an oversized jacket, and it was looking really baggy in the front, and we did this because it kind of gives the look almost like a dress. If you were some weird designer, you might design a dress like this.
True.
And in fact, if you steal that and put it on the runway next year, I will completely call you out on it.
Yeah, we want 20%.
Yeah, at least 20%, maybe 21%.
21.
Yes. What's kind of fun here is we can mess around with the idea of like the shapes and reflections of, you know, the glitter on her eyes with the glitter on the jacket. Actually, lower your right arm. There we go. There you go. I actually meant left arm, but whenever you screw up as a photographer, you're never supposed to tell her that. So you can put your right arm back where it was. There you go. Yep, exactly. And then go like this. Like towards, no, just with your face. Yeah, exactly. That is perfect. Do not move. Hold. I'm actually going to back up a little bit because I have a long lens and I don't feel like changing it. Because I'm looking at something. Yeah, I actually think it's horizontal. The only thing I'm concerned about is I'm getting shadows. There you go. There it is. Hold. Let's do that. Good. That's beautiful. Switching horizontal because it fits my format better. Nice, nice. Every single, give it to me. Give it to me. Every single time. Every single time.
But you got it this time.
Yeah. After halfway through the shoot. Okay. That's how you know Marisa's a real model. All models do that. So you can see we're just working through a lot of poses, just really fun stuff going on here. But basically we've got really super smooth skin. We've got a lot of highlights going on with the sparkly jacket. We've got fill going on with the silver reflector. There's a lot going on here to make basically what is essentially a simple shot. So let's end with you looking, fix the jacket. Mm-hmm. Fix this part, pull it down. Pull down this part.
This part?
Yeah, you got like a neck thingy going on. Here we go.
Oh, I see.
There we go. Good. A little bump. Good. Now straight at me, robot. Perfect. Hold, focusing. I'm going to get it framed up the way I want it. I'm actually going to leave a little bit of the reflector in the shot, so I'm going to crop it later. Good. Yeah. So I like that perspective. Everything looks good. A couple like that. Oh yeah, chin up is actually better for the robot. Yeah, there we go. It's very space. Good. Right there. See, I said one more, but I shot like 10. That's what photographers do. Models keep things on their wrist. Photographers shoot more shots than they say. Smiling robot. Good, good, good. Hold. Right there. Cool. So nice. Again, we have these combined lights. Yeah, that's actually really, really nice. I like it. Do you like it?
We like it.
Marisa likes it. That's what's important. You know, sometimes I think when I start using a lot of lights, people think, well, maybe it's overkill or using a lot of things, but there's a reason. Like whenever you're doing something, sometimes you want to just use one light because that's the right thing to do. Sometimes you want to use 4 lights or 5 lights or 10 lights or whatever, and you want to basically think about the shot you're trying to create and why you're using each piece of equipment. You know, it looked fine with just the soft, and you could get away with that. And sure, you'd be like, okay, but adding that extra little punch of the hard really made a difference, and it makes that work stick out a little bit, and it's not super obvious, which means that your work is going to look a little bit kind of more polished, let's say, than somebody else's. And you can see that, especially when her chin is up, like, you know, there's no need for retouching here. You know, this is basically, these lights are cleaning up her skin. In camera, I can spend more time drinking coffee than working in Photoshop because nobody wants to do that. Or maybe people do like to do that. I hate working in Photoshop. My eyes start to glaze over, but for some reason I can surf the internet all day. I don't know if it's work, I can't do it, but if I'm just surfing the internet, I can do it for hours. But if I'm working in Photoshop, I'm like, oh no, my eyes. So, you know, whatever. I digress. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe. I'll put Marisa's stuff in the description so you can follow her if you don't already. I'm sure that you do. And subscribe. I always say it twice now for some reason. I don't know why. And there's also a little bell down there that if you hit, then you see when we go live. So we're going to go live more often. So hit that bell, and I'll see you next time. Did you eat the whole chocolate cookie? I think she might have eaten the whole cookie even though we were supposed to share it. Did you eat the whole cookie? Maybe. Okay. Oh, it's something else. Okay. Oh, Laura, are those ones for women? They are, right? Yeah. I love those.